Sure.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, Anilji. Thanks for accommodating, and thanks for always being ready to do community work.
Thank you.
So, as we mentioned earlier, we are focusing few session on acupressure. So, what the plan is? We will choose a theme based on your selection, actually, since diabetes is very common, very rampant, and it's a big issue all over. So that's why we chose this one first. But later on, whatever you suggest, we will choose that theme to be addressed during these sessions. Whatever theme we will choose, there would be 3-4 segments related to that theme. One segment would be postures. What kind of postures you should do for that particular problem? What kind of hand gestures like mudras you should do for that particular problem? What kind of acupressure technique you should do for that particular kind of problem? And one of the session will be what kind of food and Ayurveda you should do for that kind of that problem. So I have already explained some postures, some generic thing, but I will come back to that as well for diabetes. There are a few things people don't understand. They always think that if they have diabetes, they should not eat sugar. And I always mention sugar is very important component of your diet. The only problem is how you manage the intake of sugar. That's most important. But sugar is very important content of your health. It plays a big role in your health. So let's focus on acupressure. As I suggested for diabetes, last session, we have already addressed some generic acupressure points. Generic acupressure points means the thyroid gland, and at the end, what you should do, you should always do kidney point at the end. I also explained how acupressure technique works. So acupressure technique sends a bioelectric current to the concerned endocrine gland. And then what happens once you do acupressure, it sends a signal to that particular endocrine gland, and the toxins are being shed off, being released from affected organ. So once the toxins are released, the malfunction, that particular organ works better. In diabetes, those two important organs are basically pancreas. One of the most important organ is pancreas, also to certain extent adrenal. In some cases, maybe spleen, and also there are two associated organs, gallbladder and liver. Because your blood is not completely purified because of mix of sugar. So that's why it puts a lot of pressure on your gallbladder, liver, and kidney. So that's why these associated organs are affected as well, especially kidney, because filter is very important component, and kidney normally overworks to filter things. So those are small things to be covered, but those are associated organs: gallbladder, spleen, and liver and kidney. Kidney, as I suggested, whenever you do acupressure and you clean the toxin from that particular associated endocrine gland, that cleans the toxin and deposits into kidney. So at the end of your acupressure session, please make sure you acupressure the kidney point as well, so that you release toxins from that particular organ, and so that your kidney works good as well. Now, if you do kidney acupression and it hurts a lot, it pains a lot, it means kidney has some other issue from itself as well. Like it maybe kidney stone developing, or the filtration process is not as strong, as awakened as it should be. Same thing could be with gallbladder and liver. So we will come to those associated organ as well. So the first thing what I suggested, there is only one organ which I always mention, the lymphatic gland here. So about 1 inch below this line is your lymphatic gland, lymph gland. Now it gives two things. It is a magnitude measure of sugar in the blood, as well as it also tells you if there is any life-threatening disease or problem coming nearby your aura. So I tell you, here is how disease works from Ayurveda or Vedantic perspective. Any malfunction is around your aura, comes close to you. It comes in the environment first, then close to your body, then outside of your skin, then it goes in slowly. And your lab test reveals the problem when that particular organ is 30 to 70% affected already. So anything which is far away from this point, at that time acupressure may help you diagnose the problem. And as I suggested, don't rush to avoid medications and all those. So in any of my sessions, you work in sync with your doctor. So you first correct your problems, or maybe awaken, or maybe make that organ works better. Then go back to your doctor and ask him to reduce the medications or something. So we'll work on that slowly. So the first thing what I recommended now, whenever you start the acupressure, you just rub your hands little bit. थोड़ा इसको ऐसे रब करने से क्या होता है, एक्यूप्रेशर जो पॉइंट्स होते हैं ना, दोज आर बिलो द मसल्स. So it's so when you rub and little bit warmness is there, then it's easy to acupressure. One more acupressure I suggested you, when you take shower, you do this. That's a generic acupressure point, clapping. When you do clapping, make sure fingers against fingers. Why I suggest you should do it during shower? Because first of all, if you make this clapping outside, people think you're behaving something funny. So, and the other important part, when you do acupressure during shower, the gaps between two palms are filled by the water. So that's why acupressure happens a little better. So a generic acupressure for diabetes is lymph gland, as I explained many times. Once you do you can also do the rubbing here. If you could do this, so around this point, lymph gland. Now, when you do the lymph gland and the magnitude of pain is from 1 to 10, and many times I suggested if it is over 5 means or around 5, the moment you touch it, it hurts a lot. little bit pressure makes you feel that it's hurting a lot. That's a sign that blood sugar is 10 or over, or from European measurement 200 or over. So European and the North American equation is you divide 200 or whatever your sugar level is by 18. That's how you convert 200 or 300 into North American magnitude measure. Now, the acupressure points is a diagnosis as well as management and cure of the problem. Cure word I should not use. I could be legally in trouble. So management is a better word. So it manages your problem better. Now, what happens when you do acupressure after 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, you should realize that pain is going down. When the pain is going down, it means the acupressure is working. It's addressing your problem. It is releasing toxin from that particular organ. And again, there are few things which works as a check mark. Like if blood sugar is very high, you can measure your blood sugar. You do before acupressure and after acupressure. It should affect your blood sugar measurement. Now, once you do this, please remember, when I do not mention that which hand, it means you have to do both hands. Now, this point is not only for diabetes. As I said, it also tells any life-threatening disease coming closer to you. The other thing is, it addresses your immune system. So if immune is like your immune should be very strong to address any disease, anything related to you, coming close to you. So it strengthens your immune. Many times in one kind of diabetes, it's autoimmune. So when the autoimmune problem comes, your antibodies attack the beta cells by itself. So that's why during younger age or children age diabetes you get. So that addresses this problem. If it is autoimmune disease is also a different disease as well besides diabetes. So make sure you do lymphatic gland. Now, before you jump into acupressure, few things I recommended. You have to check your solar plexus. Everyone knows how to check solar plexus. You align both hands, both palms, align the top line of the little fingers, top line must align, and all other lines following top line must match, must align, should be in the same line. If it's very difficult for you to measure all lines, at least the top and bottom should perfectly match. तो ऐसे जब उसको मिलाते हैं तो लिटिल फिंगर की टॉप लाइन को अलाइन करिए, एक दूसरे के सीध में रखिए, और मेक श्योर जो नीचे की लाइन है जो पाम के बीच में इधर आती है वो एग्जैक्टली मैच कर रहा है, सिंक कर रहा। अगर वो सिंक नहीं कर रहा है तो there could be a temporary diabetes problem. It is affecting your sugar temporarily. And it's a big catch. Many times the problem is not diabetes, the problem is not pancreas, but the problem is solar plexus. Once you correct the solar plexus, then you are good to go. But the problem is many times people are in this vicious cycle of medications before they figure out even the solar plexus. Because the moment you go on medication, it tweaks your sugar level because it produces insulin in your blood. So your immune system and your pancreas, it slows down. So it does not react. The sensor, there is a sensor in your body. Sensor does not work properly if foreign element like medications and other things are introduced. I'm not saying you should not take medications. If it is life-threatening, you don't have a choice. But make sure if it is not life-threatening, do not rush for medications. Never rush for medications. थोड़ा बहुत लाइफ स्टाइल में चेंज करिए, थोड़ा बहुत खाना पीना में चेंज करिए. I always say do not leave the food habits you have. Just change the timing. Like if you have diabetes and you like ice cream or other things, before sunset के 2 घंटे पहले तक उसको खा लिया करिए. And make sure if you like rice, I always suggested, most of the time rice is a better food option than gluten with gluten flour. The only problem with rice is it has starch. It has a lot of starch, so converts into sugar very fast. In order to curb that, make sure you use some salad, some leafy thing, raw leaf with the rice, so that it slows down the digestion of that particular thing and curbs the sugar content in your blood. So once you do acupressure here, now how you should do acupressure? You should use your hand and thumb especially. Do not use any tool. Like कोई पेंसिल से कर देता है, कोई किसी चीज से कर देता है, वो सब नहीं करना चाहिए. It's better your thumb is a better tool. So 4 fingers or 3 fingers, whatever comfortable. For example, if you're doing lymph gland, that's what I'm saying, goes on the other side and thumb at the front. And that's how you do. So you press and release, you press, release, press, release intermittently. Press, release, press, release. You should not do over 30-40 times in one go. So 30 to 40 times you should do, then relax. Same thing, 30 to 40 times you do this hand. As soon as I said, if this hurts a lot, it means blood sugar content is very high, +10. Now the same thing goes to your pancreas point here. If it hurts a lot, it means the sugar content is in your urine as well. And that's also, you need a little bit practice to address this, that to figure out whether the pain level is magnitude of 3, magnitude of 4, magnitude of 6, or magnitude of 8 to 10. The other thing you should all know your elemento. Elemento means what kind of body constitution you have. And make sure your lifestyle is according to your elemento. Your elemento is, there are many kinds of your elemento, maybe many thousand kinds of your elemento, but in the broader area, it could be divided into 16 kinds. 16 kinds of most of the animal kingdom could be divided into 16 kind of elements. There is very easy. Whenever I come to the because you need face to face for that. So whenever I come to Friday session, just show me your pulse, and I will tell you your element. So I will give you a code. Make sure you always remember that code. So whenever you calls me and you tell me I am W70, that gives me a pretty good idea what kind of elemento you have. Or maybe you can say, no, I'm not W70, I'm S85. That also give me a good idea. So 3 kind of code I normally give you, either W something, some number, either S some number, or M and some number. Sometime A is also there, but it depends. Sometime I give you 2 numbers, W30, S40, kind of that. So that gives me a pretty good idea. Even if I don't see you, and if you tell me the code, your element code, it gives me pretty good idea of your personality to me. Including your weight, some of your basic problems, some of your attitude patterns or characteristic, some of your lifestyle thing. So it gives me pretty good idea once you give me your element. So the first thing, the lymph gland, 30 to 40 times. And one more thing I always suggest, if you get benefit of this, never ever overdo, because these are called switches. So a switch, it's like electrical switch, it's a bioelectric switch. So if you do too much, you can malfunction the switch. So that's why 30 to 40 times in 30 to 40 seconds. Same thing, this hand, around 1/4 inch to 1 inch, around this area. Again, 30 to 40 times. And 30 to 40 days in a row. So 30 से 40 बार करना है, और 30 से 40 दिन तक ही करना है, उसके बाद नहीं करना है, because it puts a lot of pressure on your endocrine glands. So make sure, give it time to heal. So basically, you overburden your endocrine gland. It has accumulated those toxins over 50, 60, 70 years. It depends how old, how young you are. So if you are 50 years, in 50 years, you accumulated those toxins because of your lifestyle. And you are trying to clean that within 30 to 40 days. So of course, you are putting a lot of pressure on the endocrine gland. But that's why after 30 to 40 days, make sure you take some time off. Now, once you do this lymph gland, and if you have pressure, if you have sugar in your urine as well, and it's very easy to diagnose urine sugar. You sometimes you notice the hazy kind of urine you have. Sometimes, in India, it's very common when you urine outside, the ants and other things could be close by. The other option is you just test your urine sugar when you go to blood report or urine report. But this one is a better point. Now, lymph gland I suggested about 1/4 to 1 inch. The second one is middle two fingers, and again about 1/4 to 1 inch towards the ring finger. रिंग फिंगर के जस्ट नीचे नहीं रहेगा, इनके बीच में ही रहेगा, बट लिटिल मोर क्लोजर टू रिंग फिंगर. So this is this point. Again, 30 to 40 times. You should realize the pain is going down in about 3 weeks. Make sure you check your solar plexus, and as I recommended and suggested, very easy to fix your solar plexus. When you wake up in the morning, hold like this. Why I'm saying, if these are not aligning, these lines, it means solar plexus is disturbed. Now, solar plexus क्या कहलाता है कि जो पंजाब की तरफ के वेस्ट के लोग हैं वो एक वर्ड जानते होंगे, धरण. आपका धरण उखड़ गया. Those who are from north side, लखनऊ and other, वो कहते हैं नाड़ा उखड़ गया है. The whole point is your belly button is not at its place. It's not exactly the belly button. It's the space below the belly button. That is called solar plexus. That area is called solar plexus. So if that particular point, that particular space is not at its place, it is affecting all your endocrine glands. ये वैसे ही है जैसे घर की सेंट्रल बीम टेढ़ी हो गई हो. एक और साइन है, there is one more sign of solar plexus disturbance. You have a hard time standing on both legs for longer time. So you align either on the right side or left side, either on the back or on the front. Straight दोनों पैरों पे खड़े होने में you will have problem. That's a good sign of solar plexus, until unless it's your nature to be like that. So many times you notice if people standing straight, they will feel uncomfort. कहीं पेन होगा, unease होगा, कुछ होगा. So they take support, they align, elongation on one side, right side, left side. आगे को झुक जाएंगे, पीछे को झुक जाएंगे. So that's a good sign of solar plexus imbalance. The other sign of solar plexus imbalance is digestion related issues will be there. Bowel movement, it make your life very disturbed. Acid inflammation शुरू हो जाएगा. Dryness हो सकता है बॉडी में, या wet हो सकता है बॉडी में. It's all just little problem of solar plexus. Very easy way, when you wake up in the morning, stand on both legs, hold your middle palm here in between, और ऐसे उसको 3 बार करो, and the other one again 3 times. That is 1 cycle, and you have to do 3 to 5 cycles every day. Now, what I am going to share with you, not necessary solar plexus imbalance हो तभी ये करिए. Every morning you should do. You will realize two things. First of all, whatever you are eating, it's digesting very good. Second thing, you feel hungry. And of course, your balance and other things will get better. People do not realize when standing on both legs in firm position, if you have problem, it means there could be a problem at your vertebral column as well. If there is any problem there, then the cerebrospinal fluid being released in your brain is hampered. So it affects your brain cells. It increases the gray matter in your body. So this thing, I would like to wrap up this thing, acupressure is specific to diabetes. Next session would be the whole endocrine gland, because you have to do whole endocrine gland as well. So lymphatic gland and then pancreas. Now at the end, what you should do, because those toxins are released from lymph and pancreas and had been deposited into kidney point, kidney organ, kidney endocrine gland. So make sure at the end of your acupressure session, you do the kidney point as well. How you figure out kidney? Make your hand like this and you do the middle part of this. That's your kidney point. Again, 30 to 40 times. So how much time it takes altogether? 30 to 40 seconds this. 30 to 40 seconds this means 60 to 80 seconds. 30 to 40 this. 90 around 100 seconds you can see. 30 to 40 seconds around 120 130 seconds, and then 30 to 40 this, 150, and then about 180 this. So in 3 minutes you will be done. 3 to 4 minutes. It does not take a big chunk of your lifestyle. Make sure you awaken faster. And besides this, the complementary thing is, if the problem is historical, then you have to do certain postures with this. And make sure you do certain hand gestures with it. On top of that, if you still need some help, I give a health powder. So usko warm water mein mila ke le lijiye. Again, it depends on your elemento. So the health powder varies. Whatever I give, it comes from my kitchen. So it's a mix of spices, some sort of spices and herbs. The other thing, there is a specific kind of water. So those water is being given. These two things are under patent right now. So my team is working to patent these, the health drink and health powder and the other thing. Hopefully our healthcare institute would start very soon. There is some good news from the city, but I will share you later when we will meet. If you want to meet me or see me, you can text me, or other way you can also coordinate with Anilji. Otherwise, whenever I come to the it's Tanglewood. If I come there, you can show me your hands for Elemento and other things. Many people have called me for Elemento. So I always recommend that whenever I come there, it's better that I check everyone at the same time. Otherwise, I live in Manatik. You come about 30-40 minutes of driving just for that. Anyway, I open the floor for questions. 5 minutes, 1 or 2 question, please.
Anyway, जिसको कोई सवाल पूछना है, please raise your hand and I'll invite you.
Because I have to give about 10 minutes to one-on-one at the end.
दिलीप जी पूछिए, अनम्यूट करके कर ले पहले.
हाँ, मेरा क्वेश्चन, नमस्कार भारती जी, मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि किसी को सपोज डायबिटीज और कोई डिसीज हो और उनकी मेडिकेशन वो ले रहे हैं तो वो कंट्रोल में रहता है, तो फिर भी उनको पेन होगा कि नहीं होगा वो पॉइंट दबाने से?
उनको पेन होगा.
अच्छा,
दवा के
कंट्रोल में.
तुरंत बाद शायद न हो, तो इसीलिए तुरंत दवा के बाद मत टेस्ट करिएगा.
अच्छा,
हाँ, सो समवेयर बिटवीन 2 मेडिकेशंस टेस्ट करिएगा तो अफेक्ट आपको दिखेगा.
अच्छा, थैंक यू जी.
नो प्रॉब्लम.
अंसारी जी अनम्यूट कीजिए. हाँ
जी जी नमस्कार भारती जी.
नमस्ते अंसारी जी, प्लीज गो अहेड.
वो एंडोक्राइन का जो आप बताया, मैं एक्चुअली जरा लेट हो गया, आज बाहर था, मैं भी आया तो मैंने आपका शुरू का पार्ट मिस कर दिया. वो तो जो अभी जो आप बताए ना, वो जो प्रेस करने का, वो acupressure points.
Yeah, I haven't explained the acupressure points. The next section will include all 8 endocrine glands, which starts from root, then your solar plexus, then your adrenal and pancreas, then thymus and heart, then parathyroid, and then pituitary, and then pineal. So these 8 endocrine glands would be covered more or less in next session, which is a complementary for the diabetes problem. Diabetes is a complex problem. I have no hesitation accepting this.
Okay, and also, are you starting any yoga classes?
Yeah, soon. We'll see how we are gonna manage that. We are already doing one with ICCC session for seniors, but there could be a possibility of other yoga session as well, which opens to everyone.
Okay.
तो ये भी योगा सेशन का पार्ट ही है जो आज हो रहा है.
Yeah, this is online. This is online.
Yeah, online.
Okay. So this is also yoga? This is also yoga. Okay, okay. Okay.
Yoga and acupressure, they all.
Okay, they are all same. Okay.
It's not same, but they part of bigger yogic system.
Okay.
So people
Physical.
confuse.
योगा जैसा आसन वगैरह बताते वो लोग कि different physical postures वगैरह.
As I suggested, yoga is not only posture. Posture is actually less than 10% of yoga.
Oh, okay, okay.
In order to put it right perspective. So if you see yoga, how divided in 8 parts: yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. So there are 8 parts, and asana is one of the parts.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. And we don't do the proper asanas in this part of the world. Many people don't. I'm not saying don't know, they are not exposed to that. So they think if we do complex asana, that benefits me more. It has nothing to do how complex the asana is. It has how synced you are with the breathing pattern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So I should move to one-on-one session.
हाँ, तो आप प्रेयर पहले कर लें, उसके बाद बाकी लोग लॉग ऑफ कर लेंगे. तो प्रेयर करना चाहेंगे पहले?
Yes.
Do that.
May all be happy. May all be disease free. May all see good in others. May none suffer. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kasyid dukh bhag bhavet. God bless you all.
God bless you.
Thank you. I'll stop the recording.